Good morning everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're doing good, because it is good to feel good. It is another morning here in New York, but rather sadly today, it is my last day here in New York. Yeah, I know, that's pretty sad to think about, but do you know what? This trip has been a blast. I've had a really great time. I mean, I'll be honest, it didn't get off to the best of starts last week when I was at Heathrow, but do you know what? Everything picked up from there, and you know, I've had a blast on this trip. All the stuff that I've managed to cram into this in a space of a week is just, it's mad to think about it. And like, you know, all this wrestling and just all the other things I've done on the side, and just, yeah, it's been incredible, and I've had so much fun doing so yeah, as I say, it is my last day here in New York. I check out at 11, although I've got a bit of a dilemma, pretty much how it was last year when I was in LA, where I've got this 5-hour window where before my pickup comes that I could just basically kill time, and I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna get up to, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens, I guess. So yeah, the idea is just, you know, find something to do, maybe do a little bit more exploring, and then eventually when it comes to 4 o'clock I can come back here, and then, you know, we can go to the airport and just reminisce. But yeah, I'm rather sad to be going, but you know what, I've had fun. It's been made for a great trip, and let's go out on a high note on this last day. Also, before I check out, and I've changed my clothes and that, but before I check out, I want to just say a massive shout out to the bunch of people that I've been staying with in this room, in this hostel for the past week. Quite a few of them were actually here for WrestleMania actually, so that's pretty cool, and they had a good time while they were there. There was a guy from Taiwan, there was a guy from Mexico who, when I said to him, if you didn't have the long hair and still had that beard that he had, I think he'd look a little bit like Ricochet. There was a girl from Argentina, and then the other girl, I don't recall hearing where she was from, and I don't want to guess where she was from because she might get offended, so I best not try and offend anyone here. But yeah, there have been a lovely bunch, and that's one thing I really enjoy, like when I'm traveling and I'm staying in a hostel, is like, you'll get people from like all corners of the world, you know, coming to a certain place. They all have a purpose of being here, and it's always nice to interact with them and, you know, make conversations, make friends as well, and it's really cool. I like doing the whole hostel thing. Okay, so I've just checked out of my hostel, and I've also dropped off my suitcase as well, because the last thing I want to do is spend 5 hours of my time in New York just hauling about my suitcase, and it'll probably slow me down quite a fair bit. So I guess it's quite a fair bit of weight I've managed to get off my shoulders with that. But anyway, let's go do some exploring. Also, I'm pretty sure you can tell that my voice is still somewhat broken from like these past few days. Like literally, I've put my heart and soul into like and putting all my energy into like the last few days when it's come to wrestling, but my voice has suffered as a result. But you know what, it was bloody worth it. So the first little stop of today is to go have a little wander around Central Park, because Central Park's lovely, and like my mum was saying how when she went to New York about 8 years ago, she never got a chance to come to Central Park. So here you go, mum, here's Central Park, and let's have a little wander about. So I've had a nice little wander about Central Park, nice and peaceful, nice and scenic as well. And then now, predictably, I've come to Starbucks. I'm going to do a bit of reading of Jim Smallman's I'm Sorry I Love You, The History of Professional Wrestling. I know I bought it only like back 6 months ago, but I'm still, you know, I'm reading it small steps at a time. Like, I think that's how I enjoy reading, just reading small steps at a time, and then like get myself more invested in it as I go along each time. And also got my little bit from Starbucks as well, strawberry frappuccino. They actually spelt it right this time, which is on the hat trick. They did it right, so kudos Starbucks for getting it right.
decided to pay myself a little visit to Times Square, just one last time. Do you know what I really think is a missed opportunity for me on this trip is the fact that I never went to Times Square at night. So yeah, I'm a little bit gutted that I didn't do that, but I'm sure if I ever come back to New York, I'm definitely going to come here during the night time just to see what the lights are like. I mean, obviously you can see it all now in the daytime, but I'm sure at night it's a different picture altogether. Like one thing I've noticed, like even during my times in LA in like previous years, is the amount of like wannabe rappers who are trying to sell you, you know, their CDs and that. And like, I'll be completely honest, CDs these days are like, it's like a dying breed. Like back in the day, obviously it was cassette tapes, and then obviously CDs became all the rage, and then of course CDs are starting to become a bit more, it's kind of like a dying like format, if you ask me. Like everyone's on now, well, there's like SoundCloud rappers and that now, and even, you know, people getting stuff on Spotify and stuff. So yeah, you need to a message to any wannabe rappers, just go to SoundCloud, and then you'll be, and sky's the limit for you. One last pizza, or pizzas. So I paid one last little visit to Gio's there, and I'll be honest, of all the pizza places I've gone to in New York in the past week, I think Gio's was probably the best. So if you ever find yourself in 8th Avenue, do pop yourself into there, and I'm sure you're going to get a nice pizza from there. Okay, we've made it to JFK. It's now time to check in, and I mean, I've already checked in, what am I saying? But yeah, let's go and check. Well, although I say that, let's check in my bag. That's what I was meant to say. There's this long ass queue for security. It's all the way back there, and the line starts here. And if I can say anything about the amount of lines I've been caught in this week, this is probably on par with what I had to wait for coming back from WrestleMania. I honestly thought for a sec that queue for security was going to take forever, and I also said how it almost felt as long as waiting to get the train back from WrestleMania on Sunday. But do you know what? We're through now. And then also it's worth mentioning, I think considering everything that happened to me last week, when it was almost at the point where I almost wasn't able to board my flight, I decided to do something a little bit cheeky. So I just basically asked if it was possible to get a little upgrade, and I've managed to get myself a little cheeky upgrade to premium economy, which is pretty nice. It's not quite upper class, but you know what, I'm fine with that. And yeah, and I think if I checked it correctly, I think I've got a bit of extra legroom. I know extra legroom comes with premium economy, but I think it might be the seat that's by the door to the plane, so that'll be very nice. And also I'm in row 19, and of course 19 is my lucky number, so yeah, I think this is going to be a good flight, and especially with all that extra legroom as well. So we're now at the point where we get on the plane, and this is where all the sad music plays. But, I mean, eventually we all have to go home, but you know what? This trip's been fun, and as I say, I'm definitely going to come back to New York again. And I'm also really looking forward to sitting in premium economy. Premium economy. I always used to pronounce it premium, but it's premium. Yeah, this is confusing. Oh, get in. Nice. Oh, would you look at this? This is nice. And yeah, so as I say, we're in row 19, which of course 19 is my lucky number. That's pretty solid. And you know what? Having a bit of extra legroom is always a good thing, considering I'm quite a tall guy, so yes, it works perfectly. So Yeah, and also another thing, because literally, the lavatory is literally right there, so literally I could just stand up and say, oh yeah, I'll go to the toilet, and don't have to interrupt anyone when they're sitting about or sleeping or anything. So yeah, that's pretty good. And also, got a nice little view out of the plane. Decent stuff. So I guess I'll see you when I land, which will be back in England. It'll all be over when I land. I'm not looking forward to going back, but you know what, this trip's been amazing. And obviously we all, as I say, we have to all go home eventually, but it's been solid, this trip, and I'm definitely looking forward to coming back to New York in the future. Well, this is just like the amount of living room I have. I think I'll be completely honest. This is probably the best seat I've ever had on a flight before. I mean, a lot of the time. Well, I say a lot of the times. The majority of the times I've been, all the times I've been on a flight has basically been economy, and obviously, depending on where you're sitting, you can have very limited leg room. And do you know what? This is bloody brilliant, and I'm so happy that I've got a decent amount of leg room, and also with this spare seat, it's like, you know, I can just, I love this. I've just landed back in London, and the first thing I've noticed is it's quite cool out there, although they did say it will warm up as the day goes on, but yeah, so it feels really weird being back home, but you know what, as much as, you know, I love going on like abroad and that, and to do my traveling, and I know I've said this before, there is no place like home. It was like, even if, given everything that's going on at the moment, I still love coming back home. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, let's go claim my bag and then also go find my mum. I think she's waiting at arrivals, although we'll have to wait and see. Time to go claim the baggedy bags, and I think I may be wrong when I'm looking at this. I can see a red case, but I don't think that is my red. No, it's not my red case. No, it's not my red case. That was nice and easy now, wasn't it? Come on, come on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's see if we can spot my mother. No? 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 Oh, this suddenly reminds me of when I was back in LA, come back from LA a couple of years ago. She's not here. Where the hell is she? Look at her. She clearly does not love me enough to come pick me up from the airport, does she? Hello, Mum.
Sorry, I popped it up.
Yeah, what are you like?
I'm sorry, I cocked it up. Oh. Dad said, oh, you'll not be out till about 10 o'clock. He said he's got to get through passport security and everything.
No, literally, it was literally just got in before 9 o'clock and...
I'm so sorry. I would never have done that to you, you know. I was just sitting upstairs just reading, that's all I was doing. Sorry, Ollie.
You will be sorry.
I love you.
Yeah. What kind of mum are you for not coming to pick me up?
I'm a really crap mum, actually.
No, you're a good mum, you are.
How can I make it up to you?
Well, I don't know, let's go home, I guess.
Go home?
Yeah, let's go home.
Come on then.
Okay guys, so I've just got back home. It's just gone past 11 o'clock and you know what? I'm so tired that I think I just want to relax. Although saying that, I don't want to nap and fall asleep because it's likely that I might just sleep until much later and it'll already be dark and be like, oh, what the bloody hell's happened? Where's the sun gone? But yeah, I'm gonna relax for the remainder of the day and also catch up on a bit of editing as well. And yeah, now that we're at this point where I'm signing off, I just want to say I've had an amazing time in New York, and apart from a few minor hiccups, this trip's played out so perfectly. You know, all the stuff that I saw in New York, all the wrestling that I attended, obviously WrestleMania being the highlight. It's been so much fun, and obviously I can now officially tick going to New York and going to WrestleMania off the bucket list, and it's been an amazing trip. I know my bank account was suffering as a result of this trip, but you know what, it was so bloody worth it. I'm definitely hoping to go back to New York in the future, because even though I was only there for a week, you know, I wasn't able to, you know, do much exploring on those days. So the idea is next time I go to New York, there's the idea to potentially go out and explore everything that I can in my time there. And speaking of travel, I don't know when I'll next be traveling. Like, I genuinely haven't planned anything for later this year, so, and obviously I'm not going to LA or anything this year, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see where I go next travel wise. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what comes my way. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off. Thank you for coming along to New York. Thank you for coming to WrestleMania. I hope you guys have had fun as well. And I'm gonna leave you with some advice now, and that is to enjoy yourself, stay safe, and make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. Thank you for watching, and peace.
So I kind of do this as a tradition after like a nice trip away, and you know, just do a nice little end of vlog voiceover. So do you know what, this trip to New York has been amazing. I don't think I could have imagined the trip playing out any different than it did, and like all the stuff that I got to, so like the wrestling, just exploring New York, and of course WrestleMania being the highlight. It's been so much fun, and now I can just reminisce about the good times I had out there. So yeah, thank you for coming along for the ride, guys, and also click the 2 links that are floating about right now if you want to watch a random video of mine or my most recent upload. Thank you for watching, and peace.